The Galactic Academy's Xenobiology lecture hall fell into an uneasy silence as Professor Velthor, a distinguished Corinthian scholar, activated the holographic display. 200 students from 47 different species watched as Earth rotated slowly in the blue-tinted lights. Today, Velthor's translator chip rendered his clicking mandibles into comprehensible speech. We discussed the most dangerous classification in our database, Death World Tier 12. Anna Chen sat in the back row, her worn leather jacket draped over her chair. She'd heard this lecture before, different professor, same horrified reactions. Beside her sat Jack Morrison, casually scrolling through his data, seemingly unbothered by the mounting tension in the room. Earth, the professor continued, defies conventional models of habitability. Its atmospheric oxygen content would be toxic to 63% of known species. Its gravity, he paused for emphasis, would crush a Palaxene within hours. A nervous chittering rippled through the student body. Several of the more delicate species instinctively moved away from the two humans. Velthor wasn't finished. The planet's surface is 70% covered in a corrosive solvent we call dihydrogen monoxide. The remaining landmass hosts predators of such efficiency that he stopped abruptly, his sensory stalks swiveling toward the back of the room. Perhaps our human students could provide context. Every head turned. Anna felt the weight of 200 pairs of eyes, optical sensors, and compound vision arrays focusing on her and Jack. She glanced at her classmate, who simply shrugged and stood up. "Sure, Professor," Jack said, his voice carrying easily across the tiered seating. "What would you like to know?" Velthar's color shifted to a cautious orange. "The apex predator of your planet. The data files are incomplete. Describe it for the class." Anna watched Jack's face carefully. She knew that looked the slight upturn of his mouth that meant he was about to enjoy himself far too much. "Which one?" Jack asked innocently. The question hung in the air like a detonation. Professor Velthar's stalks quivered. "Which one? Your planet has multiple apex predators." "Depends on the environment," Anna interjected, deciding to help. "Ocean, great white shark, orca, saltwater crocodile. Land, African lion, polar bear, Siberian tiger. Air, golden eagle, harpy eagle." "Stop." A Throxian student in the third row had gone pale green. "You're saying your planet has hostile megafauna in every ecological niche?" Jack nodded. "Pretty much. But here's the thing." He leaned against the railing. "Humans aren't the apex predators I'd be worried about." The room went silent. Even Professor Velthar seemed frozen. "Explain." The professor finally managed. "Sure." Jack continued. "Take the Australian box jellyfish. Transparent. About this big. He made a shape with his hands. Venom can kill you in minutes. Or the Brazilian wandering spider, neurotoxin, extremely aggressive. The inland taipan snake. One bite contains enough venom to kill 100 adult humans. The mosquito, a flying insect, is dangerous." Someone interrupted incredulously. "Kills about 700,000 humans per year," Anna supplied. "Malaria, dengue fever, yellow fever. Tiny thing, barely visible, deadliest animal on Earth." A Vexillian student raised a crystalline appendage. "But humans survived how?" Jack and Anna exchanged glances. This was always the difficult part to explain. "We didn't just survive," Jack said slowly. "We thrived. We learned. We adapted." Professor Velthar pulled up another hologram, a primitive human settlement surrounded by hostile wildlife. "The archaeological records show early humans had no natural weapons. No claws, no venom, no armored hide. How did you persist?" Anna stood now, moving to join Jack at the railing. "We made weapons. We made tools. We learned to think 3, 4, 5 steps ahead. A lion is stronger than a human, but a human with a spear and the intelligence to use it. That changes everything. And we didn't stop there," Jack added. "We domesticated the wolves that hunted us, to made them our companions. We built shelters that could withstand Category 5 hurricanes, wind speeds over 300 kilometers per hour. We created medicines from the same plants and animals that poisoned us." The class was transfixed now, the initial fear transforming into something else, a dawning realization. A small Quilrian student in the front row spoke up, voice trembling. "The stories we heard about humans bonding with Death World predators as pets, those are true." Anna smiled. "I had a dog named Atlas back home, descended from gray wolves, 130 pounds of muscle, jaw strength of over 300 pounds per square inch, slept at the foot of my bed every night." "That's insane," someone whispered. "That's humanity," Jack corrected. "We didn't conquer our world through strength alone. We did it through persistence, cooperation, and sheer stubborn refusal to give up. When the environment tried to kill us, we learned from it. When predators hunted us, we studied them. When diseases ravaged us, we developed immunity." Professor Velthor's color had shifted to a deep purple, thoughtfulness mixed with concern. "I must ask the question that troubles the Council of Humans can survive such conditions. What happens when you encounter resistance elsewhere?" The lecture hall went deathly quiet. Anna chose her words carefully. "We prefer cooperation, Professor. We didn't come to the stars to conquer, but our history has taught us something important. Adaptation isn't just about surviving, it's about understanding. Every predator on Earth taught us a lesson. The cheetah taught us about speed and efficiency. The octopus taught us about problem solving and camouflage. The ant taught us about collective effort. We're not the strongest species in the galaxy, Jack continued. We're not the smartest or the fastest, but we're persistent, we're creative, and most importantly, we've spent 200,000 years learning to coexist with things that wanted to kill us. A Megalian student who'd been silent until now finally spoke, their voice barely above a whisper. What sat beside you? The question confused several students, but Anna understood immediately. She reached into her bag and pulled out a photograph, an old-fashioned print, not a hologram. She held it up. The image showed Anna, age 7, sitting next to a massive Kodiak bear at a wildlife rehabilitation center. This is what sat beside me, she said quietly. 1,500 pounds of muscle, claws like knives, could kill me with a single swipe. I helped nurse her back to health after she'd been injured. Her name was Freya. Jack pulled out his own photograph, him as a teenager swimming alongside a great white shark. Marine biology internship, he explained, studying apex predators in their natural habitat. They're not mindless killers, they're survivors, just like us. We learn to respect them, understand them, even protect them. Professor Velthor stared at the images, his translator chip struggling to interpret the complex emotions flowing through the room. Class dismissed, he finally said. Though 2 hours remained in the session, I need to revise my curriculum. As the students filed out in stunned silence, many cast final glances at Anna and Jack, the two humans who casually shared space with creatures that should have been their executioners. In the hallway afterward, a small group gathered around them. Questions came rapid fire. Is it true you keep reptilian predators as companions? Did humans really ride animals 10 times their size? What's the most dangerous thing you've personally encountered? Anna and Jack answered patiently, but they both knew the truth. The most dangerous thing on Earth had never been the predators, the storms, or the diseases. It had always been humanity itself, the species that looked at an impossible world and decided to not just survive it, but master it. The species that turned wolves into dogs, rivers into highways, and the very elements into tools. The Galactic Council would learn what Earth's predators had learned millennia ago. Humans didn't need to be the strongest or the deadliest. They just needed to be human, stubborn, adaptable, and absolutely refusing to accept defeat. The class never spoke during xenobiology again, at least, not when the topic was Earth. Some lessons were better learned in silence, with the uncomfortable awareness that the universe's newest sapient species came from a world that tried its best to kill them daily, and they'd smiled through it all.